Hey guys, it's Anna, and I'm back to share some more quick information about whether coaching is right for you, if it's a right time for you, if it's not, maybe something you can think about. I will say that the sooner you do it, the better, because, well, just like anything, you get started right away, and you don't have to sit there and think about it. But I want to make sure that you're educated and informed of everything that you possibly could ask about. So today, in this video, I want to discuss how much time does it take to dedicate to become a successful coach? That's a really big question, because 99% of you are working full time. There are a handful of you that may be a stay-at-home mom, or and are looking for that next thing. Or I have some coaches on my team that are nurses like me that stayed home with their kids when they were babies. The kids are getting ready to go back in school. They don't want to go back to work, and they want to see if there's something out there that they can continue to use their passion and be home with their family, be home with their kids still, and not have to go back to that day job. So, but this video is really how much time do you need to dedicate to be a successful coach? So it all depends on one thing: your goals. Now, that being said, your goals may change as time goes by. This is what happens. People join as a coach. They're added to our team page, and they realize what they got themselves into. This community of support, this community of amazing people. So before they get started, they typically think that they're probably not going to spend much time in the business, more like a hobby. And then you get involved with some amazing people, and you see what's possible, and you start to invest a little bit more time than you really expected. My job as your coach is to keep you in the lanes with balancing your life and coaching. It's very easy to get sucked in and want to be doing this full time, and want to be surrounded by these people full time. But sometimes that's not your reality, and I'm being perfectly honest with you because that's what I do. And I don't want you to have false expectations. I will give you a day in the life of me when I was working full-time, and how was I able to build this business part-time and eventually walk away from that, so that I am able to do this full-time, and I am able to sit here in the middle of the day in my office at home and do a video for you. So when I was in the middle of my P90X round, I wanted to get a discount on my Shakeology and my recovery drink. And I was working with my coach, and she was telling me, why don't you become a coach? Because one, you want to keep yourself accountable. Two, you have other people asking you what you're doing because you're feeling great. You're starting to post different things now. You're starting to be healthy. You're starting to be a good role model for your kids. So why don't you just become a coach? So when I joined as what we call a discount coach. I just wanted to get a discount. Maybe if I could help a couple people and pay it forward and earn a little bit of extra play money, then that would be fun. So that's when I joined as a coach. Now, just explaining this to you, once I got involved and surrounded by the people in this business, and how supportive and non-competitive, and just everybody wants you to succeed, no matter who you are, no matter what team you're on. Everybody just wants you to succeed. So you surround yourself with the most amazing, positive people. Then I realized, wait a minute, I could probably do more with this business and maybe pay off a few things, So I decided to take it seriously. And I decided to connect myself with my coach and my coaches, and really just figure out, how to make this work with my busy schedule. So I would get up in the morning, I would get my workout in. If I was lucky, the old days, in the very beginning, I would work out late at night, and it was hard. So I changed. I started to get up really super early. I got my workouts in. I did a little bit of work while I was getting ready to go to work while my family was sleeping. I left the house at 7 a.m. Family was still asleep. They were just getting ready to get up, but I had to leave the house. Took me 45 minutes to get to work. So while I was driving to work, I listened to personal development. Now, you'll see in our training, we talk a lot about personal development. You can see behind me, I have a lot of personal development books and audio. So I would listen to personal development on my way to work. When I was at work, and I worked. The times that I fit in this business were the times that I was able to take a break and maybe walk from one building to another. And I would sit and I have my phone now. I have this big gigantic thing, but because 90% of my business is done on my phone. And I would work on my phone and I would connect with people on my phone, on my breaks. And then at lunch, I would connect with people on my phone, on my breaks, making sure that people were okay and reaching out to people that I thought that may need my help and just being there for people. So at lunch, I would do that because what was the alternative? The alternative was for me to go to lunch with my friends at work and eat junk and talk about gossip in my work environment. And that did me no good. Why not surround myself with something positive? So at lunch, I decided to spend my lunch hour in my car, and I took care of my business then. Went back to work, did my job, was able to take another break, walk from building to building, had my phone, did a little bit more work. And then I went home at 7 o'clock at night. I left the hospital at 7 o'clock at night. So here I'm there all day. I left the hospital, and on my way home, either I had a phone call lined up with somebody that I could take on my way home, or I was still listening to personal development because I know how important it is. And I would get home, and of course in the beginning it was hard because I wanted to jump in and I wanted to be involved because it was so much fun. But my family is more important. So I had to really take a step back, and it's very difficult to do because it is a lot of fun, but your family is important. And when you look back, that is the one thing you don't want to screw up. So I respect spending time with your family more than anything, but you can build this business and do the same thing. So I spent time with my family right before the kids went to bed. And it was really important for me, and it was a very small window of time, and it was making me upset that I was only able to spend that amount of time. And that's really what drove me to do this business every day while I was at work and while I was at my lunch hour, because I didn't want to get home at bedtime every night. My kids were in elementary school, or still are in elementary school, and I wanted to be there for them. I didn't want to be this working mom that I was missing half their life. So they went to bed. I spent time with my husband on the couch. And then I got a little bit more work done before I went to bed. And sometimes I sacrificed my sleep, and sometimes I stayed up late when the family was asleep. So it depends on your goals, quite honestly. I'm all about balancing your life. I am all about teaching you how to. It's your job to keep yourself balanced at home, but I'm trying to keep you in the lanes. So as far as spending time on the business, if you just want to be a discount coach and enjoy the discount, then fantastic. Then you don't have to spend any extra time. But I'll tell you what I cut out. I cut out TV. That one little half hour I spent with my husband. And that was the only TV I watched. I cut out all that TV, all that extracurricular activity, scrolling through Facebook, hanging out with friends. That just wasn't gonna get me to my goals. So I had to maximize the little bit of time that I had. And I did that for 4 years. Now, I also didn't have training. The great thing now is that I have so much training for you guys that it won't take, if you did my same technique, it will not take you 4 years to get to where I got. And I also had to match a pretty high salary, and I live in California. So it took me 4 years, but it took me 20 years to get where I was at, and now I make more than I do doing this business than I did then. So to answer the question, how much time do you have to dedicate? It's up to you, but I am there to keep you in your lane, in the lane, to make sure that you make the most bang for your buck during the amount of time that you have to do. If you have more time, then you have more time to spend on it. If you don't have as much time, then you spend what you can, and you may need to sacrifice a little bit of time on maybe playing games online, or I don't know if people do that anymore, but those kind of things, because I don't know, sacrificing that TV made a huge difference for me. So I hope that that answers the question regarding how much time do I need to do this business. It's up to you. You can do it part-time and build a business. That's it. All right, you guys, have a great day.